Hello everybody, my name is Pravus and welcome to more Surviving the Aftermath. We've played this game on the channel a couple of times in the earlier stages of its early access development, and since then the game has released on Steam, which should make at least a few of you guys happy, so you have no excuse to pick it up now, right? Apparently there have been a few major updates since the last time I played the game, so in celebration of the Steam release, I figured we'd go ahead and start up a new game and see what's going to happen. I want to know what's new, and I will also challenge myself. This game is pretty darn fun. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and leave the tutorial messages just in case there's something new I really need to know about. Now, in order to make this run interesting, I'm going to go ahead and go for maximum 100% difficulty. Probably a foolish idea for someone who hasn't played the game in a while, but we're going to do it anyway. The planet shall be a barren wasteland. There will be apocalyptic events all the dang time. People will have practically no resources to start, and this is actually new ideology. There is no survival guide for a post-apocalypse like this. Different people have different ideas on how to survive, with none more right or wrong than the other. So, as far as I'm aware, none of these are harder than the other. In other words, they don't really increase the difficulty. It's just 3 different kind of tech trees that you can choose from, with I think it's like 4 or 5 unique technologies for each different idea group. So, you kind of choose based on what playstyle you want to go for. Hardy Survivalist focuses on survival methods. I believe also increases your food gathering, which could be very helpful on a map that has 10% fertile soil. Colony Builder, which increases the efficiency in some ways, I think in terms of like power and maybe making more machine parts. And then Wasteland Explorer, which give you extra technology for exploration and other advancements. I'm going to go for the Hardy Survivalist just because on the hardest map, I assume this will be the best for me, though I could very well be wrong. I don't know what the meta is. Gatekeeper, we're going to have a chaotic gate, so we have no idea what people are going to send us. Could be a bunch of children, could be a bunch of crazy people, no clue. Ooh, this is also new. We get to choose our starting specialists. Okay. Well, I imagine we want to choose a fair diversity of starting specialists, or at the very least, we want to have a couple of scavengers maybe, with the knowledge that we will be growing into different specialists later. So for example, maybe getting Platy for the very good research and scavenging to start makes sense. I like Domino because that's also pretty darn good scavenging. And then I probably want to get either a scientist or a fighter. Maybe a scout? Hard to say. From what I'm seeing here, it looks like maybe Scrappa is going to be the best. Really good recovery, decent scavenge, and pretty good attack value. So we're going to go for these 3 to start us off. Okay. For our visuals, let's go for, I guess, this for our flag. And we're going to name this colony Middanowah, because I think that sounds funny, obviously, and we're going to say, where are we is our motto. Perfect. Let's go ahead and start up a game at 100% difficulty, like a crazy person. Oh, wow, okay. Things are looking different already. Where are my colonists? I don't think we have them at the start. Instead, we have our 3 specialists here on the map. Now, one thing I do know that has changed since the last time it was played on the channel is there is a fog of war on the map, so we actually don't know what resources are around us. We're going to have to use our specialists to explore for a bit, and I think we have to find a good settling location. Now, let's take a look at F11, because that's still a very important overlay. Okay, so we have a reasonable amount of fertile land up over this direction, quite a bit up over here. That's pretty promising. Some water, etc. Looking for a good starting location. I don't know where the plastics and the metals and other such things are going to be yet, so we'll need to explore any sites that we're interested in, but I have to say, I do think that our starting area right over here seems promising. It looks like there's going to be a reasonable amount of water. Unfortunately, there's also a fair bit of pollution around too, which is going to make my life pretty difficult. So let's explore a bit in this general vicinity, see what's going on as far as like me placing down some campsites over here so we can have our housing, also plenty of room for farming, and some nearby water. All of that would be ideal, but it depends a lot on pollution. I also think that I have read that there are wild animals on the map now which can and will attack you. So we have to be wary of that. If there's a nest of, let's say, some boars or bears around, we probably don't want to settle over there because that just sounds stupid. We have a mission on the lookout for a new home. It ain't much, but it's a start. Finding a piece of habitable land is no easy task at the end of the world. What you see before you is what is left for us and our planet. It falls to you to rebuild society with the aid of your people and the modest resources you set out with. Welcome to the Aftermath, survivor. Yeah, no pressure at all. Start by building the campsite to mark the center of your new colony. Scout for a suitable location from the mist by moving your specialists. Got it. Okay, so I sort of see where this is going. What's this? Fierce mouse. There are fierce animals that will fight back. Goody. Also pollution deposits. Yeah, I don't want to deal with none of these. It seems terrible. It's going to contaminate buildings. It's going to make people sick. Yeah, that's actually a lot of radiation up over here. This may not be a good starting location after all. Maybe we have to kind of scrap this. Unfortunate. Yeah, here's a tooltip on hunting, and apparently animals will always defend themselves, and some will just ram you even if you're passing through their territory. So, yeah, we got to be wary about that. You can see the level of anyone's aggressiveness by selecting the living creatures from the overlay menu. Living creatures. These guys, I assume green means that they are fine, so nothing really to worry about there aside from basic defense. But I know there are aggressive animals out here somewhere. We just gotta find them. Ooh, Platy took a little bit of damage. I suspect that is because of a sandworm? A massive mutated centipede which burrows underground to attack its victims. Oh, dearie me. Okay, yeah, that would be an example of a dangerous creature we don't want to deal with. I do think we're going to have to settle up pretty close to the gate down over here. It seems like a relatively tame location, and not an absurd amount of pollution, not a lot of dangerous animals either, and there are some water sources. So, much as I would have loved to explore the entire map and find the perfect spot, I think we're going to end up settling down over here, which means I need to place down a campsite. Though, actually, we should probably make sure that we are not interfering with our potential growing areas. So maybe right up over here? Yeah, right over here seems reasonable enough. Okay. I do wish there was an auto-explore feature for my survivalists, because that would make my life a little bit easier, but alrighty. So the campsite is automatically built, and here are all of our resources, and to be honest, this is not a lot. Preparing the colony, we can place down some buildings and such, but where are my colonists? It's got to be well prepared for the colonists to survive. Well, I agree with all of that, but if we don't have people to build, then what exactly is the point? Let's see. Tents. We know we're going to need some of these. We want to place them close to the campsite, so I'm probably going to start by placing, let's say, a couple down here. I do want these to be relatively close to farming areas, assuming we can even get any farming areas. Actually, I can't remember. Is it better to build emergency shelters at the start of the game? It is cheaper slightly, if I recall, so maybe actually, yeah, we want to go ahead and start by building emergency shelters instead. I think I like that idea. Unfortunately, are these guys actually going to get canceled? There we go. Okay, they did get canceled. Good. Okay, I was afraid we had to bring some people in first, so let's go ahead and place right down here. Nope, we can't. Aw, the berries are in the way. All right, forget it. We'll do tents, and I'll upgrade things later. How's that sound? Apparently, we can use our specialists to build, so I guess, honestly, this is starting to look a little bit more like Surviving Mars, where you had your drones kind of set up a basic base before your colonists arrived. The same thing might actually be the case here, except we're going to be using our specialists instead. Fascinating change. Yep, sure enough, our specialists are grabbing resources and bringing them over here. Okay, so it's a bit more micromanagement intensive if you really want, which I'm not opposed to, frankly. That could actually be kind of fun. Okay, we're going to have a couple of tents set up. I'm getting a food storage and a basic stockpile set up, just because I imagine that's going to be helpful. Can two people work at the same time? They can, which I assume speeds things up a little bit. All right, so we still have things like our basic work areas, and I imagine I'm going to want at least a bit of wood and concrete both. So we'll set up over here for once I have my colonists. Question, can you go and work these areas? It does not appear so. Yes, they can. Never mind, I'm sorry. Specialists absolutely can start gathering up resources on their own. Interesting. So maybe there's not a lot of incentive to send my specialists out to explore right away. Maybe we want to wait a little bit and actually just use them to gather some resources for a bit of an extra boost until we feel more secure. Really, really cool. Okay, food production. Colonists need food to avoid starving to death. We can get a trapper or a fishing hut. Okay, so you have to build one of those. Do we not have access to farms at the beginning of the game anymore? Because that used to be a thing you could build pretty much from day one, but it looks like that's not actually in my building options anymore. Oh, that actually does sort of change the equation a little bit. So we definitely need to get ourselves a food trapper ASAP. Ooh, interesting. Okay. People are waiting for you. Send them a signal. There are survivors nearby waiting for your signal. They are cold, hungry, and in need of care. Care you can provide better if you have prepared the settlement. Are you going to let them in now or take a little bit longer? We could continue preparing or we could invite the colonists. So from here, we could shoot a flare, which will bring our people in. I don't see any harm in bringing them in now since we have our shelters and such, and I would like to have extra people working to gather up food and other resources a little bit faster. We're already working on building a well so I can have water production, and we should be able to gather up food from berries and eventually a trapper, which are some of my most basic resources taken care of. So yeah, I don't see any reason not to just go ahead and shoot the flare now, unless by staying off the map these guys, like, don't get hungry for a bit and we save on food? I have no idea, but I'm assuming not. So let's shoot the flare. Whoosh! Okay. Everyone come here! It's a party! What would we call ourselves again? Oh, right, Middanowah. That's right. Prompted by the specialist signal flare, the rest of your group arrives at the prepared campsite. Despite all the hardships ahead, it's time to rebuild and turn this hostile place into a home. Okay, so all of our folks have just arrived. We have 8 colonists to start. We do not have nearly enough tentage. Right. So we need to get ourselves some more shelter. We could build 2 more of these, or I could build an emergency shelter somewhere. Where would I place this, though? Good question. I need to make sure that we are not placing it anywhere near our food. Or rather, I do actually want to be close to our food so that people can get to their jobs quickly, because walking speed and like distance really does matter in this game, like many others. I think if we place right down here, though, we can probably solve a lot of our problems. So let's go ahead and build out another emergency shelter. So we're actually overdoing it on our housing capacity. I should have only built 1 tent and an emergency shelter. That would have been a smarter use of resources, but did I do that? No. No, I did not. You, go ahead and help build the well so we can build things a little bit faster. Construction complete. We have a trapper. We need to move our work area. So let's see. Do we actually need to place this where I see animals, or do I want to place it close to where I have trees? Because right now, it's suggesting I do have some efficiency, like 39% down there. 29, 27 efficiency, work area efficiency. Ah, we're in the 60s over here. So we want to have a lot of trees. This might be the way to go. It also might be too far from the base to be an effective trapping location, but let's just sort of see what happens. In the meantime, though, I should have people working on gathering up some berries and such, right? I think so. Interesting. 1 water well really doesn't do the job here. I know I didn't build the most efficient location because I placed it kind of on the edge for space efficiency with farms instead of way out in the middle. But only 3 water production is not a lot, so instead I'm going to be placing down a water collector on the shore here. This water looks somewhat toxic, so I don't really like it, but yeah, let's try placing here and see if we can gather up more water, because being at a deficit already is obviously going to be a problem. Now, I would love to build some water storage and stuff, because that does give me a bit more buffer, just in case, you know, we have a big catastrophe early on. Could very well happen. Can't afford the plastic at the moment, though, so we know that means we need to get things like a scrapper and a recycler up and a-running in order to gather up some of the nearby plastic and metals. So maybe we want to set up over here. Actually, we're going to have some building space areas issues already. Maybe right along here, then? I think we need the plastics first and foremost, since I only have 1 left. Specialists cannot gather plastic from the map. They can gather planks and concrete, but they cannot gather plastics and metal. So we have to build the special structure in order to make that work. Okay, the plastic production is up and running, so we'll start gathering up some of that. Would love to get metals as well. That's obviously very, very important. Let's see, where can I set up and not mess up too much? I think I can set up over here. I'm not going to be placing a farm in this immediate area anyway, I think. I wish there was a faster way to cycle through some of that, overlays as well, but oh well. So, right around here? Yeah, let's go ahead and set up right around here for now. We may demolish these and move them to a more optimal location later, but for now, I want them all very close to the stockpiles and to the housing, so that people can quickly get from one job to another. Let's see if I can manually do some hunting using Scrappa. Looks like yes, indeed. Oh, God, he just brought a swarm upon him. Okay, time to run. Apparently, mice tend to come and fight in packs, so that's fun. Wait, so he killed the animal. Can I now harvest it at all? Wait. No, it's stuck on the pollution area. I'm not sure I can actually gather from it. Oh, crud, that's a problem. However, I can move my food storage area for people to work, and they can gather from the corpses. Okay, yep, nope, that should work. Now, I could be wrong, but I thought you used to be able to assign workers directly to food storages and stockpiles, but now it looks like you can only assign to places like the recycler, trapper, etc., and everyone else kind of automatically defaults to either gathering or carrying, which I guess is kind of okay. At least make sure that if you have anybody idle, you're not actually messing up. You know, they're actually always doing something. I'm also pretty sure we used to have 2 slots for some of these buildings for early working jobs, but that no longer appears to be the case. That concerns me. Apparently something new I need to build is an outhouse. Never had to worry about one of these things before. I don't want to place it next to any of my water sources because it causes pollution. Interesting. So we don't want to place it near any of our crop areas as well. Oh, well, probably want to place it out in the middle of frickin' nowhere then. You could just walk out into the middle of the forest in order to visit the outhouse. Sure, let's go ahead and place down one of those. Let's go ahead and build the gate, since the game does seem to think that's going to be very important for me. I do want to send some of these specialists out into the world and start looking for science and other technology. I'd like to know why we can't get any farms. Oh, look at the tech tree. It's completely different. Well, since the last time I played, it might be the same for you guys, but for me, it's completely new. Survival skills. Okay, so this takes up some science. Right now we have 0. This is the first one we have to get, apparently. Takes 15 in-game hours. Production speed goes up by 20%. So yeah, if we can find just a little bit of science, then this could actually end up being a pretty big deal for me. Also, yeah, we can add in additional work slots. Also, basic farming, skinning, wider piers. Okay, a lot of work slots there. So, yeah, all this seems really good. Okay, I like it. I like it. Are there multiple tech trees? Yes. So this is just food. Then there's production. So crowbars. Okay. So we have better production speed for our recyclers and our scrappers. Colony leads to heavy tarps. More durability for our homes. Okay. And nurses for what? So let's see. Shared duties and clear communication of life-threatening situations. Work slots +1. I don't recognize that building. I don't know. Maybe we have to take care of, like, little kids? Exploration tech, bartering, frontier outposts. Yeah, okay. This is a nice improvement. I like this tech tree. I also really like that these specialists have a practical usage besides just going off and exploring the world. Like, these are my own personal micromanaging little workers in order to get things like the gate built up quickly so the rest of my guys here can keep doing their regular jobs. I like that change. That's really cool. Into the new world. Congratulations, you've rebuilt the gate and gained access to the world map. All right, now we can send our specialists out to explore. This progress has not gone unnoticed. Soon your colony will begin attracting various folks, some good, others desperate, some tricksters, and those who just want to see you destroyed. Arm the gate with colonists or keep some specialists to defend. From raids? We can get raided? Oh, no. Okay, so Scrappa is probably going to end up being our defender, since he's good at fighting, at least until I explore something we want. A colonist has received a vision of gloom. An older colonist claims to bear grave news. They are shaking and in clear dismay. I saw it. A bright wave of destruction. It will hit tonight. You can try to ask for more guidance, but the colonist has already passed out from the stress. It's up to you to decide how to react to the news. Prepare for fallout, fire, or meteor, or ignore the warning. I mean, I can't really afford to waste some of these resources, especially fallout or meteor. I don't have really the plastic or metal to spare. So I guess we'll prepare for a fire with some concrete. You believe this vision was a warning of an upcoming torching with disastrous effects. You call on all colonists to reinforce their dwellings in case of a fire. Lo and behold, you hear one colonist's hearth had overheated and was about to set the whole colony aflame. It seems you also have the gift of firesight. Ha ha ha. Okay, so we gained some happiness from all of this. So I guess whichever we were going to do, it was definitely going to occur, maybe? I don't know. We get some happiness at the cost of a little concrete. Honestly, I think that's worth it. In fact, I don't even remember seeing my concrete go down. So maybe it didn't matter. Okay, group of survivors have arrived at the gate. Gasp. What do we got here? Survivors. We have 2 adults, 1 elder, 1 child. Children suck. I don't want them, but all right. We get Donna, the leader. The leader is really good at a lot of things. Look at this. Good research, good scavenging skill, pretty decent attack and recovery, and more action points. Donna's great. You would expect such a good eye and delicate touch to people management from a gruff-looking person like her. At times, she's silent and even grumpy, preferring to be left alone, but when push comes to shove, she turns into an entirely different person. She seems awesome! I want her. I want her. Also, we get some firewood, some clothing, some tools, some food, and only 1 child? I think this is worth it. Some people have gone completely feral, I heard. They live in the woods like animals and kill what they can with their bare hands. Yikes. I'm going to accept because that's a really good specialist. We're lucky to have your aid. I wholeheartedly agree. This does mean that I need at least another shelter, though, since a couple people are homeless. I'll only build one tent for now and not commit to another emergency shelter, at least for the moment. We need to clear out these berries so I can make some more space. But okay, cool. I like having Donna. Do we keep Donna nearby? Honestly, I think no. She's so good at scavenging and research. I think we send her out and abroad. So let's go to the world map. And let's see. Actually, I need to send you guys to the world map first. Hang on. Donna, go to world. Platty, go to world. The rest of you, stay nearby. You can gather resources and defend the base just in case. So these guys, I imagine, have to, like, go outside of the gate. Yep, that's exactly what they're doing. Okay, so they're out and about. Let's go to Donna. Since you're really good at research, let's go to a museum. It belongs in a museum. Go here. Let's get some science. Much needed science. She's researching the location. It looks like it's going to take a couple of turns, is what I think it just said. We can also gather up some additional food, which at the moment we're doing okay on. I'd rather go and gather up some plastics at the camping site and bring these back to the base. Okay, and if I recall, the way that this works is we have to send our colonists off to the edge of a zone, and they can explore it over the course of a turn and find out what other resources are nearby. Depending on what we find, we might even have to fight over some of those resources, where Scrappa is going to become very helpful. But we'll see. So for now, this seems reasonable. Scrappa, why don't you go and gather up some more resources for the moment. Let's just go ahead and gather up some concrete and some lumber out over here or something. That seems fine. Okay, yeah, this is great. This is going great. Demolishing buildings. Are you saying I screwed up and I shouldn't have some of these buildings? I'm keeping them. I commit to my mistakes. It's not true at all. But I'm going to this time. Gonna go ahead and start building up a waters tower. We've had issues in the past, you know, previous games where, we've had a disaster occur within the first, like, few weeks or whatever. First, like, week or so, and, completely wipe out my water. So I think that maybe getting this built up would be pretty helpful. Don't have enough plastics or metals, unfortunately, but we are okay on that for now. Hey, look, science. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to the science tree. And what do we want? Well, to start off, I do think we want to get the extra productivity. This is gonna lead to me getting extra food. Seems reasonable. We'll research that. It takes 15 hours, so we're not going to get the effects right away. I also want to get crowbars for the extra metals and plastics, but we have to wait for a tech to finish first. Really interesting. Okay. No, I like this so far. I like that you have to wait a little bit on some technology. I like that we have to set up a base. I like the way that specialists are being used. This seems really cool so far. Are you still currently doing anything? No, actually, you're not. So, Donna, why don't you go ahead... Oh, wait, no, you are doing something. You're doing a mission. Oh, well, it's not showing any resources here anymore. Okay. Platty, are you carrying resources? Okay, so she's carrying 30 of the plastics at the moment. Okay, so we're going to be getting 300 science per day here at the museum. It looks like there's 18 left for us. So that's not a lot, but after that, Donna can go and grab, like, I don't know, some meat or something and then explore the nearby zones, drop some resources off, and set back out. Okay, cool. It does look like people have a new need. Hygiene, I'm guessing, is what that symbol is, and that's where the outhouse comes in. So they're going into the outhouse and they're cleaning themselves off, either by showering or taking a dump. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but there we go. So they're heading over here, so that's going to be important. Oh, look, pollution is indeed going up on the outhouse. It's up by 13%. Okay, that is going to become a problem. So we can't get any more science here. Let's go ahead and send Donna to grab some of the meat using her action points. Platty has gathered up all of the plastic, so let's go ahead and send her back to Middanowah and drop off some plastic. I assume she's got to walk back through the gate. Yes, she does, and she is bringing a load of resources to drop off at the stockpile. Excellent. Colonist has an idea. One of the colonists approaches, appearing nervous. She says she might be able to provide some clothing. We could give her some fibers, of which I have a little bit, to try and get some clothes. That could be a good deal. Let's give it a shot. More than a little bit of wool, she gets me 5 clothes. Oh, well done. Yes, that is great. Okay. We've also finished researching the survival skills, which opens up a lot of other things, including the basic farming I might want. Well, right now, I think we're okay on food, at least for a moment. So instead, let's try to ramp up our production of the plastics and the metals, since right now that's proving to be a bit of a bottleneck. Okay. Platy, I'm sending her back out to the world map. So off she goes. Platy, I would like you to go and explore this nearby region and find out what the heck is going on. Okay, we find some metals. We also find some bandits, which, they're not absurdly strong. Scrappa could definitely deal with them. There's also more plastics, which is probably more important to me than some of these parts. Also, this factory is a hazard, so there's a good chance that she's going to take some damage per day. She heals faster than that, so I think she'll be fine, but still. Let's go ahead and just gather up some more plastics for now. And Scrappa, yeah, I don't know how early we can expect raiding, and I'm honestly not sure how dangerous the raids are. But let's go ahead and send him out to the world map, and let's see if we can use him to go beat up those guys. That should be fine. Oh, good, the water tower is also done. We're not producing enough water, so we actually should start producing more somewhere. Where can I get some more water storage production? Probably from the water well over, like, here. 79, 78 efficiency. It's not the best, but it'll have to do. I want to start gathering up water and just toss it into storage so we have a little bit of a buffer just in case. Okay, so Scrappa, you're going to head over here, and you should be able to beat them after a couple of fights. I have absolute faith in you. For the moment, though, I think this is actually a good place for us to end this video. We have some humble beginnings in Middanowah, and I'm experiencing a handful of the changes of the game, and I gotta say, I like what I'm seeing so far. We're gonna find out how much harder this is going to get, though, over the next few videos, I have no doubt. So thank you all very much for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed. If so, then I would humbly ask that you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notify bell, and share this video with your friends if they are looking for some Surviving the Aftermath content. My name is Pravus, and I will see you guys next time.
All right, let's go ahead and do it.